Welcome to week 32 of 2017's Written Sins talk show, Kickstarter Talk, where we go over all the Kickstarters that are heating up on Kickstarter. My name is Mr. Anderson, and I will be the voice of this as well as the voice of Written Sins. So strap in, let's get together and launch some of these Kickstarters off and be part of something bigger and better. Let's create new worlds. Our title for this week is It's the Dog Days of Summer, so stay inside and avoid the heat while checking out these Kickstarters. This is the Kickstarter cheat sheet. So we're going to begin with our Kickstarter of the summer. That's right. We've gone from doing a Kickstarter of the week to officially calling the Kickstarter of the summer the Sinestre. The reason we're calling Sinestre is because it is honestly one of the most creative Kickstarters that I've seen that isn't getting the love it deserves. It is a fantasy tale about four brothers that are transformed into immortal creatures after surviving a crash near a tribal reservation. There is an actual rap song based upon this. It is fantastic. We're going to talk more about that in a few minutes. We're just going to go down everything, but before we do that, we want to remind you that every dollar counts. Every dollar can help bring an idea to life. It can also show confidence in a particular project that we're going through today. So remember, if you like an idea of a project, please donate at least $1 to it. Murder Most Mundane, original graphic novel, murderous and brutal horror set against a backdrop of picturesque tranquility. This is going to be coming up on the show along with Geek Girl Volume 1, Lightning Strikes. Geek Girl gets collected and the nerd becomes cool. Superhero trope gets flipped on its head. That is now on Kickstarter. We're going to talk about that more in a minute. Fight of the Century has been fighting it out on Kickstarter. Tune in a few minutes to, well, stay tuned in to see how it's doing and how its fight's going. It's a FOTC is a fist fighting cyberpunk graphic novel about mixed martial arts, underdog that will go from public punchline to people's champ. Let's never forget to support our veterans. We're going to talk more about how you can support them. R4AU, the Autistic Jedi with a patch to show you your support, is very important. We're going to talk more about that in the show today. Grid versus the Unstoppable for Glory is a fantastic comic book brought to life by none other than the words of, I believe that this should be, if I'm not mistaken, I don't see it here, but this should be my good friend Martin Dunn's project. I believe he's part of this. You see Hubert Kahn is part of it, so we're going to talk more about what that is. Lame Brains is back on Kickstarter for issue number time. And this time it's personal. Ghost Schmidt and his zombie version Schmidt continues their hilarious romp through normal. Illinois, I believe, is supposed to be it. That might be just a typo on our part. Place your pledges on the strip. A great anthology about things that can only happen in Vegas. We're going to talk more about that coming up on the show. The first issue of the beautifully illustrated 4-issue comic book miniseries, Robots vs. Princess. Put your money on who you think will win, but buy the comic or pledge to the comic on Kickstarter to make sure the story gets told. The War and Hott, Volume 1, bringing 5 amazing issues together. And read the first 2 right now for free. That shows confidence in a project if nothing else ever will. Rapid Eye has returned to Kickstarter with issue number 2 from the very talented Bobby Torres. A CI operative, Ed Phillips, is the target, but there's nowhere to hide when your employer is hunting you in your dreams. It's Nightmare on Elm Street meets the X-Files. Transmigrant International Taxi Cab Service is asking if you need a lift to entertainment with issue number 5. We're going to check that out in today's show. Noir edition of crime about a retired villain turning a new page while the deck is stacked against them. This is Villain, and it's on the show today. Mutant Chasers number 2, A New Breed. We're going to talk more about that. That's new to the program this week. No, we also have VOD, or Vode. I forgot how you pronounce it. We'll watch the video to see how to actually pronounce this. But it's brought to life by the amazing art of Chris Mad. It's loss, revenge, redemption, family. Follow the story of these villains turned mercenaries as they attempt to clean up their name. And then we also have Bless the Children on the show today. It's a horror Western one-shot comic book. Looks good. We're going to talk more about it in a minute. POM has made it to Kickstarter. This is Piece of Me, the celebrity magazine, which I recommend for everyone. I did a fantastic review. I got to read it already. I'm already backing it because I want a copy of it. It's fantastic. We're going to talk more about it and how contemporary the idea is. 10,000 Miles, a children's book graphic novel adventure, is now on Kickstarter, waiting for you to take the journey through creation with it. We're also going to be talking about today if you are one of us and what does that mean. All this is coming up, but let's jump right in and start with Sinestre, and let's watch that video that I promised everyone that has an actual rap song. Let's get to it. Buffering.
Hey, this is a Kickstarter flow, yeah, I'm doing jingles. It's time to get you in the know, so I'm here to mingle. Better yet, let's take a nice little ride and meet this African tribe that's trying to survive. They're getting weaker as the enemies are getting stronger. They can't hold them back any longer. Lost independence, looking through their lineage, noticing there's not enough warriors to defend the village. Just when they thought they were finished, with Popeye spot a boat with some sailors in it. Now they yelling spinach. Get that old lady with that magic touch, maybe she could spin it, tip it, hook us up and flip it. Yo, they tripping, opening Pandora's box, maybe they need to zip it. The calm before the storm can be long-winded. Thinning out decisions as the plot thickens. Troubled waters had some problems with it. Landed on the shorelines, last name Sinestre. About 4 guys. It's a book that I've written for your mind. Turn it to a comic like Bada Bing. It's showtime. Shout out to Eddie and Sally. I hope you don't mind. Made the colorful artwork a sight for sore eyes. There's more in store for sure if you hold tight. Just relax and vibe and let Saeed from Comics be your tour guide. Hey. Yes. This is Jessica DeWitt, a.k.a. Righteous.
All right. So that's that fantastic rap song that is being brought to life for this particular project. The art in this is fantastic. It is a very interesting and compelling story. I am very impressed with it. I can't wait to get my copy of this. There's a lot of passion that goes into a project like this, and we always talk about diversity, and this is a comic book that will bring to life diversity. So for those people who are always talking about, I can't find a comic book about diversity, I'll tell you this, you're not looking in indie comics. Indie comics is proudly home to a lot of diverse titles, and I'm very happy to be backing Jessica DeWitt. She's a fantastic creator. I couldn't be happier to have her art and her work on our show. We have put this on 2 weeks ahead of her actual end date, deliberately to give her some time, and we will be including to cover this next week in the show. She'll have 2 weeks on the top spot, and we're going to be talking about it more. With that said, let's get into the story told by animation instead of me, so we can learn a little bit more about the show. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Christopher, who's joining us. Christopher is part of the R4AU campaign that we'll be talking about in a minute. But for now, let's finish talking about Sinestre, issue number 1.
On the mic, check us out on Kickstarter.
Okay, so I mean, check that out. How can you not be a fan of this? It really is one of those things that I think is compelling and I think is awesome. So look, I'm all in. I'm already a backer of it. I couldn't be more happy to be supporting this. And I'll go back to the whole thing about diversity, and I just want to cover this because it has been a hot button issue this week, and I'm not gonna. It's not about taking a side or doing anything like that. But I will say that diversity, to give credit to the indie comic market, lives very strongly in our indie comic environment. And if you really are serious about supporting diversity, a comic book like this is the way to go. I really am a big proponent about, if you want to say that you're behind something, then do something about it, because this is a different story. It's told about a diverse culture that we don't really normally hear about. You don't really hear about comic books taking place in Africa, and if they do, it's a one spot and it's gone. And this delves into it a little bit more, and it's a little more interesting, I think, than you're going to normally get. Not a fan of the Spinners, but I understand why they're in the project. But I love the fact that there's a soundtrack. I love the fact that there's going to be an unreleased prequel with this. I mean, this is well thought out. This is well planned. So, I mean, if you know someone, even on your friends list, who's always complaining that they don't see diverse titles, or they want a more diverse title, you send them here. You send them right to this one, because I do believe that this is where diversity lives, meaning in indie comics. And this is a great example of diversity, and a comic book that should be made that speaks about diversity. And I mean, you have a rap song that's introducing it that was fantastically done. I mean, this is it. You can't say there isn't diversity in comic books, because it's very much alive. And I just wanted to say that because I know it'll become another hot button issue this week. There is diversity. It is alive in indie comics, and I'm very happy to be showcasing it. In this issue, make your choice. The brothers go on separate paths. So, I mean, this is going to be a great story. And you can see the coloring, the art, it's all there. It's all, and they become these characters. How sick is that, man? Look at that. They become these mythical characters. So, obviously, I'm a big fan of this. We're going to be having from Jessica the 7 Deadly Questions of Kickstarter sometime this week. Going to do a video about that. We'll actually talk about it. We'll do like a quick spoken sins or something for it. So, I mean, this is it, man. This is the Kickstarter. This is where diversity lives in indie comics. And this is how to support diversity in comic books, by actually supporting a diverse comic book on Kickstarter. See how easy it is to support diversity? Speaking of supporting, let's talk about supporting everyone with at least $1. So we just saw that, and everyone talks about diversity. Everyone talks about wanting to support diversity, right? So here's how you support diversity. You give it $1. This project, even if it doesn't look like it's something interesting than you, but you want to support diverse titles, $1 can do that. Because $1 is not only going to give $1 closer to the goal, but it also shows that you have confidence in it. Because when you have confidence in something, you do more than share it. You put $1 on it at least. A lot of times people don't know how much you pledge. So they'll never know how much you've pledged or not, but they'll know that you pledged. They know that you're giving money to a project. And that signals your friends to go, well, what? You know, if Dave did that, or Caroline did that, or if Cynthia did that, or if Jessica did that, if these people are doing that, and I've seen them all pop up on my feed, I need to be backing that project. Meanwhile, those people, those 5 people or 4 people I just mentioned, might have only given $1 each, but it signals to other people to support that project, which is what you want to be part of. And you want to be able to bring projects to life, like Murder Most Mundane, the original graphic novel, which we're going to take a look at the video in the program today. It's a little long, but it's worth it. It definitely is good quality. So
hi, I'm Matt Hott, and I'm Ash Devon, and we would like to talk to you about murder, because everyone loves a good murder mystery. Whether it's Poirot, Miss Marple, Columbo, the list of great detectives is endless. Yeah, solving murder after murder, a new case every week. But how many murders are too many? Murder Most Mundane is an original graphic novel set in a tranquil, idyllic village where type of murders are inventive and the murder rate is somewhat high. Murder Most Mundane is a co-written project between myself and Matt. It's a story full of quirky characters and black humour.
It's exactly the type of book that Mad Robot Comics is becoming very much known for. Now, we are very fortunate to have the stunning art of Clark Bint on this project.
Okay, so this book is a labour of love. It's a story that I've always wanted to tell.
And we are both very much enjoying how dark and crazy the story is, how complex the characters are, and how things get more sinister the more they develop and the more the story goes on.
Yeah, we think you're going to love the book, so please check out Kickstarter and give us your backing.
Or we will murder you.
No, we can't do that. Damn it. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, just please check out Kickstarter, back the book. We really think you're going to love it. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for watching the video, and please back the Kickstarter.
I don't know. I personally think Matt might actually murder you if you don't back it. I'm just saying. He looked like he might find you. Just keep that in mind. Matt might not have been kidding if you
Matt,
don't.
the ladies over at the Fanfield WI sent some cakes for us.
Yay! Oh, I love these type of cakes. Fairy cakes, aren't they?
Yeah, I think. Almond?
Definitely almond, yeah.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. What could possibly go wrong?
Mm.
Maybe there won't be a sequel. Maybe you don't have to worry about Matt killing you. But no, that was a fantastic video. It always makes me chuckle. They're doing very well. They have doubled, I believe. And if you ever want to know, this is a funny little tip for you. If you go over to Embed and you go right over here, it'll actually tell you how much. They're 196% funded. And that's the smaller thing. It's just an interesting fact. It's nothing important. But because they're 196 funded, and they're only at 45 hours to go, this is obviously the last time we're going to see them on the show. So we wanted to play the video one last time and show you how great it is and show you that you might want to be part of this. I mean, it really is a great book. I mean, I'm excited to see it. Mad Robot Comics constantly does stuff. And you guys can actually see right now in the screenshot that I backed it and I did the $8 thing. And I've talked about this in the program. A lot of times when it's not coming from America and it's actually from out of country, and every creator who's an American understands this, it costs a lot to ship things internationally. So I'll go digital. But in this one, it was some weird, I think that's the pound sign. So it was definitely somewhere different, but I got the digital one because we'll just look at this real quick. Okay, a physical copy. If I wanted a physical copy, and mind you, I back a lot of Kickstarters. So if I wanted to do a physical one, I think the shipping was like something like 10 or something like that. Don't steal my credit card information. Stop it. All right, we're gonna have to look at that later. I gotta put in my login. So I'll look later to see what the shipping is, but I remember the shipping being like $10. It wasn't too bad, but because I back a lot of projects, I try to save as much as I can on shipping and use the shipping costs to back more PDFs. Speaking of an international one, this one I actually had to get my hands on. I am a big fan of Geek Girl. Geek Girl is doing fantastic. Once again, I think that they're at almost 300% at this point. We're going to take a quick look at the embed and we'll see where we're at. We're at 434%. How awesome is that? So this is a fantastic project, and we're going to take a quick minute to look at the video. And this is a little bit of a longer video, so I'm just going to bounce it up a little and you can just see it's just a lot of art coming together. We're going to just talk about it for a minute. When Little Miss Popular, I'm going to read it as that goes on. When Little Miss Popular Ruby K lands a pair of Super Tech glasses invented by Brainiac college geek Trevor Goldstein in a game of strip poker, she is granted flight, super strength, and due to a flaw in the glasses programming, super klutziness. And this is just the beginning of the changes the Glass will wreak on Ruby. Now, we actually had the privilege to have Sam Johnson on our program and explain more about the project and how the project came to be. It is just a fantastic idea in a time that it was needed, because I do think that we're trying to evolve as people to become better than we've been. And I think sometimes while you're evolving, there becomes some noise. And I think sometimes that noise detracts from creativity. And I do think projects like this that kind of explores even stereotypes and kind of has fun with topics and has fun with characters is important. And you know, we talked about the outfit and all that. It is a great project, and I love the explanation behind the outfit. I really do think that it's a fantastic an adventure, because I've actually read it. I've done a review on it, so most of the story I know. I think I need the last issue in this book, and then it'll complete everything I did. But it is one of those things that I can't wait to get my hands on. So I bought a new one. They had announced recently that one of the stretch goals, they were doing the Harley Quinn, Harley Ruby robot mashup, which was kind of cool. And they have this fantastic cosplayer who came in and did a photo shoot to actually cosplay Geek Girl. So that was kind of cool. And you can actually get that as a cover. So Geek Girl is doing great. This is definitely a Kickstarter you guys might want to take the interest in and take the time to check out. But we're going to move on to our next project on the list, Fight of the Century. Now, as promised last week, I did reach out to the creators. I did ask. I did send out the Kickstarter 7 deadly questions, and I was sick as a dog when I did it. I sent it out on Saturday. I have not heard back since then. I have reached out. I have advocated for this. I do think it's a good Kickstarter. I don't know. I tried to have them on. I offered Spoken Sins. I don't know if we'll have anything more than what we've talked about for the last couple weeks. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the video one last time. And we're going to hope to convert some people right now, because I'm going to let them speak for themselves. Let them show you what they got, as it were.
Not so distant future. Rexco presents. Everything will be settled in the ring. Do it. Roger. From the writers of BAM and C-listers. And from the artist of G.I. Joe vs. Cobra. Fight of the Century. This comic book is not yet rated.
right, and that's my cue to take back over on the program. So I mean, that's the pitch. We've talked about it now for 2 months. I have reached out. I have tried everything I can to help the campaign. It is looking a bit dire, but it doesn't mean that we can't get this funded. As always, a quick share will mean the world, so we're going to take a minute. We're going to do that. We're going to share this with the world. We're going to go to Facebook. We're going to hit share. I did back it. I did show some support. I don't know. We're just going to move on. I've done all I can for this one. Speaking of all I can, there's never enough we can do for veterans. Veterans sacrifice so much for us, and because they sacrifice so much for us, we need to sacrifice for them at least some of our time and a little bit of our energy, and it all starts with sharing. So you come to Veterans Wife, which is now an affiliate, an official affiliate with Written Sins, and I'll show what that means in a second. And you can do that. That's supporting them. You could also share posts, particular posts. Write an article for the magazine. Join the writing staff. Buy yourself a friend of magazine. Subscribe to the magazine. Sponsor a Veteran Life comic. Shop at their cafe press or participate in fundraising events, which we're going to be donating. We've already donated some T-shirts to help with some stuff. We'll probably be donating a copy or two of Jackson Anderson. So we're very involved in this. And remember, I promised I would show you guys what it meant for them to be an affiliate, and the next person we're going to talk about is part of the affiliate program now too. You can see that they're officially affiliates now of Written Sins. Now, the affiliate program is not something that we're taking lightly. We're actually only doing things that we believe in unapproachably, if that makes sense. It's not that we don't believe in other things. It's just these are people that behind the scenes who we've worked with, who we trust, and we consider not only friends but allies in the campaigns that they're running and or things that we're doing. Kids of Creators is up there, which is the new site for Jackson Anderson, because of the upcoming 3rd issue, which we're about to start talking about a lot coming soon. More on that to come. Veterans Wife is very important. The Sinsel comic has T-shirts for Written Sins, which means, by the way, if you buy a T-shirt at Sinsel Comics, which we have the cool new Advocate shirt, if you buy that, that helps us run the site. So when you go to sinselcomics.com, which we have turned entirely now, Written Sins will remain the platform to promote. So what we did is we turned Sinsel Comics, even though it's the parent company of Written Sins, we've turned it entirely just to a shop now. All it'll be for practical purposes is an online shop, and you guys can get now that we are advocates for indie comics. This shirt not only helps fund our site, but I think it's also an important thing to remind people when you're going to Comic-Cons, the importance for advocating for indie comics. So we came up with this after a design critique. We were doing this for about 2 weeks back and forth to figure out the best design that we could. You can see inside of it is embedded our symbol, Are You One of Us, which we're going to talk about a little later in the program. These are available right now for $20 plus shipping. There is a deal coming up, and they call us monsters, where I'm going to be doing this in a book, free shipping. So you'll be able to get a book in this because I do want to get the shirts out there, and I know shipping can be a bitch. So during a Kickstarter, you can kind of work with shipping costs and make it work for your benefit if you do it right. So that's what we're going to be doing. So stay tuned for that. But that's why that's on there. So back to the Veterans Wife, that's why it's so important that we celebrate veterans and do everything we can by also being advocates for veterans. And speaking of advocating, here is the Autistic Jedi, an R4AU patch, which is amazing. We sell them now at the Written Sins booth, which we do, or table, I should say, at cons, which we do for no profit. We're selling them for, I believe we're selling them for $5. I usually take the cue from Melissa, who runs the program along with Christopher. And I sell it at the table to help build awareness. What does building awareness mean? It's simple. It means the more that they get to go around with their R4A unit, which is the size of R2-D2, but reclassified by the permission of LucasArts and by default Disney to be called R4AU, they get to bring the idea that autism isn't some sort of deadly disease. And they get to educate people on, exactly what autism is. So when you see the bot, you get to talk about it. It opens a conversation naturally. It's like when you wear a T-shirt to a band you like, and someone goes, "Oh, you like that band too? So do I." That's what the R4AU does. It opens the door to conversations. Having this patch can help you open that door, but you just can go beyond actually getting the patch too, which you could just go and actually share their site, which is now part of our affiliates program. That's where you get the patch. But if you go to our affiliate program, the cool thing about this, they redirect directly to that actual site, which we're going to see right now on the show. We don't really see this enough, so I wanted to make sure to do it. And once again, you can just share it. And that starts the whole conversation. And that's what this is all about. It's about starting a conversation and talking about it and being educated and helping other people learn and accept autism awareness, as it says up there. So, I mean, this is an important thing, and you guys will see them going around. They will also be, and I'm announcing it now because I did get the news today, they will be joining me at DragonCon as we will be together covering press. Christopher and Melissa will be joining me in the press booth for this particular DragonCon coming up. So you'll be able to see them. Christopher is in the room. Christopher, if you hear this, is R4AU going to be at DragonCon this year? I keep meaning to ask, and it hasn't gotten around there. Bobby Torres has just joined us, so we're going to go over to his Kickstarter immediately because he's on the program right now if anyone wanted to ask him a question while we're looking at it. But Christopher, get back to me, let me know. But that is the Autistic Jedi right there. And there's R4AU. So it's a fantastic program. I believe in it. And yes, he is going to be at DragonCon. So R4AU, we might have to get a press pass for him too. Let him do some interviews. That'd be awesome. But you can actually see R4AU coming up at DragonCon at the end of the month. So very excited to being able to be part of that event and being able to see actually R4AU. We've gone back with the back when they were Chris was trying to get funding to build it. So being able to see the project come to life in person is going to be an amazing moment for me. So that's going to be fantastic to finally meet R4AU. And to meet in person both Christopher and Melissa, wonderful people who are doing a fantastic job. And I know that you guys should be paying attention to the autism awareness page this week. I hear there's some big news breaking that once it breaks, I'm sure we'll end up on Written Sins. But for now, we're just going to move on to Bobby Torres's part of the show. We're going to jump ahead, and remember, it doesn't take much to share. Remember, I showed you how easy it is to share. So come here, like the page, and share it. And speaking of liking things, now is your time to like Rapid Eye, issue number 2. This is a new video. We have not seen it on the program. Let's take a look at it for the first time. Now, just remember, this is literally the CIA now has the ability to haunt you in your dreams. I believe there was a USA show that kind of dealt with this. I forgot. It was something Clearwater or something like that. It was kind of trippy. Rapid Eye came out, as far as I know, before that. And it was definitely a very interesting story. I'm very excited to see issue number 2. As you guys can see, there's definitely an ability to bring different worlds to life within this creative construct they brought. I mean, it's like The Matrix meets Nightmare on Elm Street meets The X-Files. So, I mean, it's just fantastic. It's one of those comic books that's going to make you think, and it's going to make you worry about where technology is going. And I know recently this week someone came out and said that artificial intelligence might be something that isn't as evil as we make it out to be. It could be a good thing, but I don't see ever the CIA viewing your dreams as a good thing. So, I mean, it's a fantastic project brought together by a fantastic creator. And for some reason, the screen is out of focus. There we go. We just got back to being in focus on Facebook. So, I mean, it's a fantastic project. You can see the art is stellar in it. Definitely an interesting concept. a little bit violent at times, but I mean, isn't that the human nature these days? And to reflect it is just honesty and comic book telling. You're welcome. I appreciate what you create. Bobby said, for those who can't read the comment section, he appreciates me. I appreciate creators like Bobby. Bobby's one of those guys, and I've known Bobby for a while. We've met in person at New York Comic Con. He's one of those guys who is constant with his promotion, and he does it right. He always gives you new material. He's not using that same piece of art 1,200 times. He's always doing something new, talking about something new, and he knows how to promote really well. He's one of the biggest hustlers I know in indie comics, and that's to his credit, because that's what this is, man. For creators watching this show, I equate the new indie comic market as like joining the circus, but with the side of hustle, because not only do you have to pack up and go from town to town, you got to hustle your product. You got to be able to sell it. You got to be able to talk about it. And, you know, Bobby knows how to put those lines in there. Bobby knows how to get you interested. He's gotten me interested, and I have ADHD, and I lose patience quickly. But this is one of those projects I've been loving to follow. And, you know, it really is one of those mind trips. Like, it makes you sit around and it makes you think. I mean, for when the moment the dark arrives, we no longer breathe our lives. We're worth the sacrifice to protect our royal queen. I mean, that's fantastic. And this is just some of the things that you get. I mean, it is a trip, man. This is one of those comic books that I warn you, if you're a stoner, don't get stoned and read it. It will scare you a little bit, because it'll make you think, and it'll make you wonder about the power that could be out there. I mean, as a kid, I was terrified of Nightmare on Elm Street. The idea that people could get inside your mind and play around in your mind, it's scary enough that I'm in my mind, and I don't need anyone else messing it up. So Rapid Eye is definitely something to support and back right now. Bobby Torres. He's a hustler, man. Look at that. He just launched this a couple days ago. He's already got 842. Amazing, amazing. It's definitely going to fund. Fantastic creator. I'm thrilled to be able to get this book in my hands. I can't wait. Melissa stopped by and said hi. Melissa is from the R4AU. An autistic Jedi and autism awareness page. Welcome onto the show, Melissa. Melissa's got some big news coming this week. Stay tuned. Rapid Eye is definitely big news in itself. It's definitely the comic book too. I mean, this is one of those things that would possibly become a featured item on our list, but I don't think he'll ever need my help, because he is a promotion machine. I see him and the way he handles things. It's always a pleasure to cover what he's creating. I can't wait for the next book. You know, when it comes to Bobby Torres, I'm always waiting for the next thing he has, because I know the next thing is going to be even better and it's going to be more creative. And you can see that as this series begins to up the ante from issue 1 to issue 2. So it's definitely a great book to get. And you can, of course, get Rapid Eye #1 with digital. The digital deluxe reward tier, and you can also get a physical copy and digital pack, so you get the actual copy and Rapid Eye 2 signed. I think you can get here it is, Rapid Eye #1 and #2 signed, so you still have plenty of time to jump on as a fan. Don't be intimidated by it saying #2, because #1 is available in the rewards, and it is available for only $20, which is awesome, considering Bobby Torres is probably going to be one of those guys who's going to break through. And he'll be one day one of those things that you get to say, I have one of his Kickstarter comics. How cool is that? We're going to be moving on to Grit and Unstoppable. Now, this I had talked about, I believe, I just want to double check. So I had announced it at the beginning of this program that on this project, this was a Martin Dunn. Okay, I was right. Just wanted to make sure I got that right. Martin Dunn, for those who aren't in the South, is a very big comic book creator down here in the South. He's an amazing creator who is wound up being part of this project. And it looks like a fantastic world that has been created. This is not necessarily the first issue. If I remember correctly from watching the video, there's backstory for this, and we're going to take a minute. We're actually going to look at that, and we're going to see if we can't figure some things out.
Welcome to the Grit vs. Unstoppable Kickstarter campaign. With this campaign, we wanted to bring some fun back to comics. What better way to bring that fun than with a character like Grit, who has the ability to be a great hero, but also a total tool at the same time. The story has tons of laugh out loud moments and great action courtesy of the spot-on writing from comic veteran Martin Dunn. We also introduce our first international hero to the mix as Hubert Carmichael's character Unstoppable debuts in this story to give us a showing of what true heroics look like. Those heroics get the interest of the love of Grit's life, Glory. She becomes a bit smitten and Grit a bit jealous. The seeds for a great rivalry, we say, but who will be the victor? There's a ton of great rewards on this campaign, like a Kickstarter exclusive cover of the Heroes Ignited Annual #1. It can get you caught up on the story. There's also a remastered edition of Grit #1, amazing t-shirts, action figures, and your own official variant cover, which can feature either you or one of your characters. With your support through Kickstarter, we've been able to release several awesome comics, and with this campaign, we're starting a new initiative. This book is complete and will ship the day the campaign ends. That's right, no more waiting around for months to get your rewards. With the Grit vs. Unstoppable Kickstarter, you will back it and then get your rewards faster than you've ever gotten a Kickstarter reward ever before. Thanks for taking the time to check out this video. Please feel free to look through the Short Fuse Media Group's Facebook page, social media, all sorts of stuff that we do online, and we do hope that you decide to back the campaign today.
Now that's an interesting thing. We're just going to play the video as we go here. The shipping it before it after the Kickstarter ends. If anyone, I actually should reach out to them and ask them. So with Jackson Anderson, we wound up funding a week ago today. Actually, we funded a week ago, a few hours ago today, and we're already shipping out books the day we funded. No, it was the next day. We picked up the books from the printer on Wednesday. So we funded on Tuesday. We shipped out on Wednesday. People already got it on Saturday. So we already had rewards being given out on Saturday morning. On Saturday, people have been getting the rewards, and they keep coming in. We keep getting tagged on social media. It's been fantastic. I actually, at the beginning of the program, when we were just on the Facebook Live, we talked about how I'd sold a comic today, or a children's book of Jackson Anderson, just by having a t-shirt on. So, I mean, it's been a great run. The only problem with it that shipping early goes is sometimes some people have credit card issues. For Jackson Anderson, we didn't care. We sent it to everyone who backed us. And if the credit cards fall through, so be it. Maybe most of the people I know that had the credit card issues had already told me they could just send me PayPal or something like that. But it is fantastic to hear, and credit to them that they're going to be sending it out the same day. I mean, that's awesome. I thought we were fast by sending it out, having the books the next day and sending it out and getting it to people within days. They sound like they're going to be able to get it even quicker, so my hat's off to them. Because I do think that sometimes that is kind of annoying. I mean, I backed a comic last year, and I have yet to see it this year. And that's not an uncommon story, and it's actually more than one. And it is sometimes, I wouldn't say always frustrating. It's a little like, by the time you get the book, I think I'm a little less excited about it. It's taking forever to get there, and that excitement's worn off. Waiting for anything too long kind of takes the excitement away. It also kills the momentum. So if you're going to go to Kickstarter, guys, little rule of thumb, have it delivered to people within 90 days. So this is definitely a project that I considered to be part of the kicker of the week. It came real close. I decided to go with the other one just purely because I really believe in the other project personally, and not to say I don't believe in this project, but I also thought Sinestro could use a little extra help. So I just went that way. But Grit and the Unstoppable is a fantastic book that I think everyone should back. 109 people have done a fantastic job of raising $2,671. So close to the goal. Do me a personal favor today. Come to this. come to our page, share our links, but also share this one to your page in itself, and make sure that you're showing love. I'm going to tweet it too, to my followers. So there we go. We're sharing that with the world. I know we're getting a little short on time, so we're going to play the quicker round where we stop playing some videos. We're just going to go over some things. Lane Brains is back. Lane Brain's pretty cool idea. So basically, it's the apocalypse of zombies, and Schmidt right here is a ghost, but he also has his counterpart zombie body following around with the group, and they're all trying to kill zombies. So it's interesting. It's definitely a new take on it, and it's a funny comic book in itself, and humor is always a good thing, especially in these days and age that we live in. So this looks like it's going to be a funny little jaunt down the Kickstarter. It's definitely something to check out. We will play the video next week. For now, we're going to move on to the strip. The strip is an interesting anthology that's doing pretty well. It's got 64. I know Facebook's having some trouble for some reason. The screen is coming off very bright today for some reason. There we go. I'm going to move it back a little bit to see if you guys can see it better. But it's got 64. There we go. 64 people, bringing it $2,462. Halfway to goal, 15 days to go. Plenty of time to make it. Check it out. Make sure you're involved in it. This looks like a great campaign in itself. You got a good amount of people involved in this. Some great creators. You got Scott Backman, Matthew Sparks, David Bowie, Pedro Mendez, fantastic guy. I definitely vouch for him. And the list goes on and on. It has aliens. It has conflict. It has naked guys. It has assistants with apples on her head. Apparently, magical powers involved. And it has someone tying the knot. This is definitely something that will be interesting. Apparently, the TARDIS is being molested. I mean, it's got it all. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic anthology. Anthologies are definitely something that's fantastic. The reason I like anthologies is it showcases the talent in our indie comics market. So I'm always thrilled to be covering an anthology. I think anthologies are some of the more powerful storytelling that we get to do, because as creators, it forces us to do it in a short manner. We only have a few pages to tell a story, so that story's got to be powerful and the art's got to be just right to make it go. Robots and Princesses. This is the first book of a 4-issue series. We're going to take a look at the video next week. So like I said, we're running out of time. Definitely looks fantastic from the art that I'm seeing. This is something that I'm very interested in helping. We've, I think we even did an interview with the creator behind this, if I'm not mistaken. I know I reached out for one. They're so close to the goal. I mean, these types of books are important too, because they're age friendly. And remember, getting kids into comic books early not only can help their creativity, because it certainly helped my creativity and helped me learn to read, but it also gives you something to talk about with your children. So if you're a parent and you want to be able to talk about comic books, sometimes it's good to find a comic book that you both might enjoy. And who doesn't like robots? So I definitely suggest being part of this program. War and Hope, very awesome project. Halfway there, 16 days to go. It's a fantastic story. It's the catalysm of raising hell down onto helpless people. Violence and gore are apparently in such works. We read all about that now. While War and Hope does include these things, the book in general encompasses so much more than just savage in and of itself, especially our protagonist. What was life like for her before all the room in hell opened? A maw upon the earth. What does she do with the current circumstance? Does she lose herself along the way, or does she go throughout? Those questions and more await, and thank you for supporting our work. It does look like a fantastic tale. It's 5 issues coming together. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I'll definitely be asking if I can do a review of it. And those of you guys know I've kind of limited the amount of reviews I do, but certain projects I still like doing reviews on. Some I just like being fans of. This is definitely one of them. Speaking of projects I'm a fan of and love doing reviews of, Tits comes back for issue number 5. It has already funded in great fashion. Couldn't be prouder of the boys bringing back another issue. And these guys, speaking of delivering on time, you'll get this book very quickly. I'm very thrilled with these guys. These guys are always on point. They always get their stuff together, and they get you what you deserve and what you order. Could not be happier to be involved with them. That's Tits. We have Villains, which has 23 days to go, halfway to the goal. A fantastic story about if you can actually change your nature. And we definitely are going to go into this more next week. It is a great story. I've read part of the story already, so I'm very happy to be part of promoting this. And happy birthday to the creator. One of the creators' birthday is today. Guido, it's his birthday. Happy birthday. And for his birthday, give him a share. Give him $1. Celebrate his birthday. This is definitely one of those. Remember, all these are available on our site under the Kickstarter. It's also in the comments section below, an easy way to get to them. Mutant Chasers, I want to get into this next week. Definitely, it looks like a fantastic project. We're just running out of time on the program today. But definitely take the time to look at it. We'll explore it more next week as it gets closer to its finishing moments. The Voda is, this is the Chris Mad project, which has 23 days to go, 874. Chris Mad, as everyone knows, I've worked with him. I've known him. I consider him a friend. He does fantastic art. I love the art in the program. I love Granny getting the cookies. The cool thing about this project we learned last week is that this is actually a takeoff of 3 older issues that this is, I believe, not a reboot, but a continuing furthering story from the original 3, which I think there was a way to get the original 3. We're going to have to explore that next week. But, I mean, it is fantastic. You have 46% funded. They're about to reveal at 50%. So let's see what's going on. Share it. Give it some money. Let's see what the 50% is and see what cool new things are coming. Chris Mad's an amazing artist, so it's going to be something fantastic. Guaranteed. Bless the Children. A very interesting comic that's getting to very close to funding. We're going to talk more about it next week. It is on our list. We are just out of time on the show today to really go into it, unfortunately. But definitely spend some time, get to know it, and we'll talk more about it on next week's show. POM, now this one is a very fantastic project, and this is basically a take on what if there was a superhero gossip magazine. And it doesn't actually play out like it's a superhero magazine. It does tell a story inside of it. It's just not the simple thing. But it is told from a narrative way where you see throughout the whole issue that they're dealing with these headlines and these social media blurbs and how that affects the heroes, which is an interesting take. So it's not necessarily just a magazine, but it's the effects the magazines have on the actual heroes themselves. So I think it's interesting. I definitely think it's worth the effort. I already read it. It's fantastic. It's something you want to get part of. And the cool thing I liked about this is when you're reading it, you feel like you're entering into a pre-established universe and you're just picking up, like it's when you first got into Batman, because most of us aren't old enough to have read the first Batman, because the first Batman came out 75 plus years ago. I believe it's 77 years ago this year. Yeah, 77 years ago this year Batman came out. So we all picked it up in the middle of it. And that's how this feels, like you're entering a world that's already been very well established. Credit to the creative team for being able to bring something like that to life. 10,000 Miles, an all-ages graphic novel. We always talk about diversity being important, but so is all-age comic books. All-age comic books allow parents and children to be able to talk about something, especially to our fans, and be involved in something together. And this is one of those kind of adventures that looks like it's going to be fantastic. The art in it is amazing. I definitely think that it's something that you guys will enjoy, and all ages doesn't always mean that an adult can enjoy it. If a story is told well, like it looks like it is done in this book, it means that anyone can enjoy the story in itself. And I think that's why this is one of those things that you guys will enjoy, and I definitely ask you to take part of it. Share it and let everyone know that you're in it. As we end the program, we end, as always, we do asking, are you one of us? So what does one of us mean? Well, one of us means, are you someone who is tired of the reboot culture? Are you someone who wants new worlds to be focused on? Do you want new creators to take the helm If you are one of those people, you're already one of us. And all you have to do now is subscribe to writtensins.com, become on our mailing list, subscribe to our YouTube channel, make it something that you follow so you can support the creators who need your support. We are done. That's the end of the show. Thank you all for coming along with me on this Kickstarter talk. We will be back next week. We are planning, I was supposed to do the quick wrap-up show in the middle to the end of the week. Thursday, Friday, we will be doing a quicker Kickstarter talk where we just go over some of the Kickstarters for the weekend. We'll be doing another show. That one only lasts about 15 to 20 minutes. It's not as extensive as this, but we'll also update any information that we have. Like, let's say if Jessica DeWitt comes in with those answers, well, for the 7 deadly questions of Kickstarter, we'll add that to the show. But that's it. That's been this week's show. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Adios.